Okay guys, the Craftsman 2 is running. We got it going a little while back and promised an update video on that, and here it is. This thing is a pretty good little machine. I've actually I've sharpened the blades, not the belts, and mowed the grass a few times with it, and it's a pretty nice little machine. I almost hate to get rid of it, but I just have one too many and they've got to go. So this thing will be going up for sale here pretty soon, but I just thought I would shoot an update here. And I'm going to leave the seat alone. It's got a lot of tears in it, but I'll let someone else worry about replacing it or whatever they want to do. Everything on this machine is working like it's supposed to. The blades were pretty rough, but I was able to sharpen them, and so I'd not switched those out. I figured out what all this mechanism was down here. That's basically just the deck height limiter. You can see this little gauge here goes from low to high, and it's got some settings here, and as you raise and lower the deck, it kind of shows you where it is. This deck is a little strange, and I'm not sure if I've got it set up right, but basically you just turn this knob in and it will let this go down to a certain point and then stop. So if you screw it in all the way down, it just barely drops down here, you know, at the 6 range here, and quits lowering. The deck rides really low. I've raised it once in the back, but the front end, I don't know if any of you guys have gotten one of these or not, but you can see that front cradle in there, and you can see how close the deck is to the ground. I'm not so sure that's right, but I can't find any way to make it higher than that. And so when you raise and lower, just kind of the back pulls up out of the way. And it does get up high enough to kind of move around, but this front end, I mean, that is scooping the ground compared to what my other machines, you know, will do. They raise the deck front and back. So again, if one of you guys owns one of these machines and knows that something's wrong or this is set up wrong, feel free to put it in the comments. But at any rate, let's have a look here and see. Here's the repair I did on the hood. Remember I mentioned in the first video that the welds were broken. So I did what I said I was going to do. I just put in some flathead screws in there and just drilled through and just bolted them through. And as you can see, this thing open works just great. Real solid and sturdy, and shouldn't come loose again unless someone really puts the crank to it and bends something at that point. But here's a look at what I did. And I was going to cut them off, but they do not interfere. You'd think it might hit there, but works just fine, so I'm going to leave them alone. And so that's all fixed and repaired. And let's see, let's come around here, and you can see down in there we've got a new starter. So that was a really, once you get all the tin off and this front nose comes off, pretty easy to do, and just took me hardly any time at all to get that fixed. So let's fire this thing up and see what she does. And it does need choke. Really like this Briggs and Stratton twin. As you can hear, that thing is almost like, it sounds like a little Harley. Pretty cool, man. Nice and low, and really impressed with how easy this engine was to get going again. This little 6-speed transmission is actually not too bad. You can just kind of sort of half clutch it and move on to the next gear while you're going really easy. It's not that big of a deal. It's not all that much different than a hydro. You know, you don't have the infinite settings, but you can mow on around number 5 and do just fine. It turns really sharp, really get some tight turns, and you can trim around just about anything you want to. So got the headlights working on it, and on the PTO it kept kicking off. I thought I was going to be in for a little bit of a struggle there to get that thing to work. It would mow for about 20 seconds and then just unexplainedly it would just kick off, and then I'd have to turn the switch back off. That just kind of seemed to go away. I kept trying to use it, and I was about to start tearing into it, and I thought I would try it one more time, and I guess just that PTO, the whole unit sitting dry for all this time, it just got a little bit cranky. So it has now started working, and it will mow for, you know,